G'day everybody. I want to talk about the blame game. Now getting up there, that's Stella, having a snore away. Getting up there and talking about fixing other people's problems and the blame game is just a waste of time. I guess they already know all this and you can talk about this behind the scenes. The people don't need to hear the blame game. They can find that out themselves later. In question time and getting answers done and what are you going to do, you don't use the blame game unless you got some tactics. Now I want to talk about how tactics can be used in blame games. See, they can blame a lot because they want to make sure the people realize that this other side screwed up and we're here to fix it. And they mention that a lot so they can be re-elected. A lot of things I've noticed all around the world, they seem to concentrate on re-election more than their work that they're in. As far as I'm concerned, when it comes to re-election, they shouldn't even think about it, talk about it, nada, until at least the last 6 months. We'll say the last year, but it's only 4 years, so that's a quarter of the time. Do you need to spend quarter of the day talking about dinner time and going to bed? You know what I mean? And who gets to stay up longer, right? So 6 months should be plenty. That's how long they gave The Voice. Roughly 6 months. Really connecting with people and stuff like that. So you get 6 months to start maybe talking about the old blame games. Other than that, sitting there blaming people and stuff is only going to arc people up, and you're only going to get arguments, and how you're going to fix things now. So what you do is you're a long way away from the blame games and elections and stuff like that. So you just stop the blame game and move on, really. If you can't stop the blame game and they're carrying on, there will be no moving on. I'm about to finish up giving advice, because if I don't see that, then what's the point of keep talking? All I'll be hearing is the same thing. I don't even go back and watch old videos because they're nearly all the same problems. If not, it's already been solved than what it is now. So there's not much you would miss or need to catch up onto to get things to happen now. That's what question time's up. So when you hear questions last time, you'd want to hear what's going to happen with this question. I've just talked about it. So what's your policy? I gave it to you last time. And then they should pop up and go, here's the policy. We've been talking about it. What do you think? And then they can ask. And then the next time we come up, and that's how it's meant to run. None of this arguments. Every time you do arguments and you're meant to be professional and you're here for the people, you're delaying the people. So it's not funny at all. I don't see it funny, delaying and mocking. Delaying and mocking is fun. I do it, delay and mock around sometimes, but not at certain times. It's meant to be important, like your job, right? You're not meant to muck around, at least not most of it, right? Right down to 5 to 10%. Otherwise, you're not an efficient worker, are you? Of mucking around. And when you guys time's a limit and you're mocking halfway through it, well, you're wasting 50% of work time mucking around that's meant to be serious for the people, so the people know what's going on and feel confident that their government is sorting things out and not constantly arguing. Anyway, have a good one and see you later. If you just do what you say and actually work hard, I'm sure a lot of these problems will go. I do not know what's happening behind the scenes unless all the things I hear, but a lot of things I hear, unless you see it for yourself, can be Chinese whisper gospel, right? You don't believe what's getting told all over the news because everyone's mocking everybody, aren't they? And it's hard to get the truth because people rather mock than just going, yeah, you're right. Is it that hard to admit a fault and then move on? Because if you can't just admit a fault and move on, you will mock a lot and avoid and carry on. That's my opinion. Bye-bye.